And we're going to be talking about how movies impact society and culture. There is no question that watching films can help us escape our everyday lives. However, all kinds of films impact our society and culture. Film have had significant meaning to people all over the world, and movies industry, especially Kannywood, has continued to grow and be successful since the beginning of the 19th centuries. As technology progresses and special effects continue to become more realistic, interesting movies going continues to hold and draw millions of people to the theater each year. Now we have in the studio Ibrahim Nassir Ringim. He is an actor both in Kannywood and Nollywood and a chairman Arewa Filmmakers Association, FCT. Also the Secretary General Arewa Filmmakers North Central States. Thank you so much, Malam Ibrahim Nassir, for joining us this morning.
Thank you.
Thank you. So before we go into the full discussion, we would like to know who Malam Nassir Ibrahim Ringim is actually.
Thank you very much. Just like you said, Ibrahim Nassir Ringim. That's who he is, Ibrahim Nassir Ringim.
Well, you're an actor, right? So there's more to you than just being an actor and just being a Secretary General to associations of filmmakers and what have you.
So you want me to start by introducing myself? I thought it would take a lot of time then.
Of course.
Well, anyway, just like you said, my name is Ibrahim Nassir Ringim. I hail from a very beautiful, scintillating, scenic town, Ringim in Jigawa State. I am over 50 years, so like I always say, I'm very old.
Oh, nice.
You're really a serenader. Just see how you just praise your where you come from.
No, of course now.
It is amazing.
Of course now.
It is a great thing. Okay, so let's talk about your journey in through the movie industry, from where and how it started, because we have seen you in a lot of movies and series talking about Kwanacha Sa'in and whatnot, and it's one of the biggest shows happening. So walk us through how you found yourself to that point.
Well, I would say, it's by coincidence, by providence. As a broadcast journalist, the journey became very easy for me because consistently I'm in touch, I'm in contact with those that are in the profession. So they started by inviting me, Senator, please come and do this role for us. Initially, I was apprehensive, I was not really interested. But as time goes on, from acting one role, two role, three role, I just find myself in where I am today, one of the top.
That's a beautiful thing. So let's talk about the topic, saying the impact of movies in the society. Now, earlier we were talking with Fatima about how different, movies of before are now. And it's not really that, okay, only the movies of before happens to be the good ones, because when we're talking about quality of the cameras and the work equipment, exactly, these days is way different. And the people already are complaining. People are trying to measure the differences between the movies of before and now. How are you people, in this profession, are able to keep the viewers glued to the movies?
Just like you rightly said, they say the first house in a town is not necessarily the most beautiful house, but at least it was the first house. So those that started this journey, they paved the way for us. They make it possible for us to continue from where they stop. And over time, film industry has evolved, most especially in northern part of the country, because if you look at the way the production is now, the technology is more advanced. Unlike before that, you see a very huge, big camera that at times one person cannot handle it.
Indeed.
But now you can see with a just pinch of fingers like this, you can even control some of the cameras. So there is serious technology advancement. Then in terms of the story, even the story, there is serious improvement, because before maybe you find in a town only one or two people only write story. Now almost in every town, every angle, everywhere you go, you find many young intellectuals very busy writing.
A duk lokacin da aka ce mulki da arziki sun kasance abin takama.
So as a broadcast journalist before venturing into the movie industry, would you say the stories have actually impacted on the society positively or negatively?
Actually, it depends on which angle the person that is looking at the film is looking at the film. For us, the people that are cooking it and serving it, the essence at all points is to produce something that will change the dynamics of something.
Yes.
Mostly to teach something, to expose something.
Pass
then
a message.
Through entertainment.
Yes.
That's how the message is passed. But it depends on the person that is looking at it. If he is just looking at it in order to learn ways of perfecting whatever he is doing that he saw being expressed in the movie. One, or he's just looking at it just because he doesn't have any other thing to do. He just wants to while away time. I believe whatever direction you look at it, there is an impact.
The message is passed across
Yes.
at the end of the day.
All right, so I think earlier in one of the front pages of the national dailies, someone, I think from the Kannywood industry, Zaradin, yes, mentioned that Kannywood need more of screenplays, you know, good screenplays. So that's me. We're talking about movies. We need to be honest, Madam Nassir. At this point, there are some Kannywood movies that are amazing. The storyline can keep you stuck, while there are others that are not so thrilling, you know, for people. So what do you think, you know, as one of the stakeholders in the Kannywood industry, what do you think you need to do as an organization in order to bring out more better stories to tell the nation? Because you will agree with me that in the northern part of Nigeria, there's still a lot of stories to explore.
Very well. Going back to the story, if you notice what is happening now, even the Nollywood, our Nollywood partners always come to Kaduna, Abuja to do their movies.
Exactly.
Because we have story here and we have the location. Our major problem, I can summarize it into three. Okay. Money, money, and money. Because honestly, if you want to produce a good story, you need money. Just for example, that you keep going back to Kwana Chasen. Kwana Chasen become Kwana Chasen. Why? Because there is a ready-made person that is ready to sponsor the film. Because it's expensive. Like now, they are in production for almost 5 years, consistently and continuously. So for that to happen, really, you need investment, you need money.
So would you say the government needs to play a role in terms of helping with funding, especially for you know, the movie industry, especially the northern movie industry?
Very well. First of all, I want the government to look at the movie industry as an avenue of getting many of our youths engaged and employed. Through there, it will solve many problem of insecurity, unemployment, and all these negative and negativities. Then, if they look at it as a so, then they will make special provision for fund, for money that will be used in order to develop that industry. I assure you there is what we call multiplier effect in this movie industry, because one film alone can take care of or can engage no less than 200 people. You can see what that brings.
Taking 200 people out of the street, especially their youths.
So it brings economic growth. I mean, that is something that, you know, people that have seen the movie sets, people that have been one way or another linked to the movie industry knows. But then still there are lots of, I mean, we've come a long way from where we were coming, but then people are still of the notion that the industries, you know, we're talking about the Nollywood, Bollywood, Kannywood industry, it's giving negative impacts on the society. What do you have to say to people like that?
Actually, what happened is because they say he who paid the piper dictated the tune.
Oh, certainly.
Because the truth of the matter is there is no money. So whoever could muster small finance to produce a movie can just dictate how the movie will tilt, or how the movie, or what the message the movie can carry along. And in most cases, you find out if you do movies that doesn't interest or attract your viewers, you just do movie, let's say, strictly on culture, the viewers, the percentage of the viewers that are watching the movie, where like now, all this YouTube, you are putting it in order to generate money. Who are the percentage of the people that are watching it? Mostly the young. What are the kind of movies the young guys want? So if you want to produce in order to make money, you must produce something that will attract the attention and the minds of those young guys. So that at the end of the day, what you do, there will be what we call a return on investment, or you reap at least something out of your investment. So next time it will encourage you to produce more. But you do film just strictly on culture. I'm not saying it's not good, but most of the films that are strictly on culture, you realize the percentage of the viewers are the old class, those that have seen so much and so many things. And unfortunately for us, that percentage doesn't form any substantial part of the percentage that are really the continuous and consistent viewers. So at the end of the day, you see the movie doesn't attract anything. You invest like 20 million, you generate 1.2 million. How can you produce another movie? So unless and until there is substantial amount of investment in the movie industry, when people can access fund for films that are on education, films on culture, films on this, films on that, so that issues of addressing most of the problems that are disturbing or affecting the society can be solved. But for now, if the industry will continue in the way it is doing now, that you manage to beg your wife to sell her gold, beg your brother to sell his car for you to raise money to make film, you definitely do the kind of film that will attract viewers in order for you to generate money.
So right now, it seems like there's a bit of, say, hypocrisy on the part of some of the people watching it, because the same people that would watch the movies, the people that are the viewers, you already know the kind of thing they want, will be the same people to go still and criticize. To still criticize the personalities and how the movies are going. So right now, you're saying that, of course, you start as a business. It's a business first before you start giving back to the society. And at the end of the day, the government is what you need. So let's talk about the government investing in it. We've seen the new administration, the president, creating a minister for, entertainment and all that. And create, exactly, in order to give you people a link to talk about these things. And to my own knowledge, I know that, some of people, stakeholders in the Kannywood industry and Nollywood have had a bit of sit down with the minister. So what has been the outcome? Where do you see this this new ministry is going to take the industry?
Well, the outcome, as far as I'm concerned, is still the journey of 1 million kilometers, starting with a step. It is just a step now. We are still waiting until when we reach the bridge, we cross it.
But from your end, have you people created something that, in case when the government is ready to give you, there is a body that would lead? Because we know of the tales of Kannywood being divisional because of political problems and all that.
Well, we have a blueprint, we have body, but APMAN, when you say APMAN, is Arewa Filmmakers Association of Nigeria, then we have MOPAN. MOPAN is Moving Pictures Practitioners of Nigeria. We have a blueprint that anytime the government calls us, we'll have something to present. And I'm sure it will tally with what the government will have on table. Yeah.
That's a beautiful
Oh, yeah,
thing.
so you know, in the beginning, when I was kind of taking the intro, I talked about movie actually helping us to escape, you know, our everyday lives. So it has a way of entertaining us, you know, taking our minds off so many economic hardships or some challenges that we are going through. Would you say that the movies, like she rightly stated earlier, has in some way has impacted or changed behaviors of people, especially in our society, and how people tend to see our movies even outside the country also?
Yes, it has seriously changed the perception and the way people look at it. You know, if you look at our society generally, it's a society that tends to be tilted towards what it hears and what it sees every day.
Yes.
Whatever you feed the society, that's what the society will tend to be tilted to or take in as a lesson, as something that entertains them. And that is why most of the people that go out to work, immediately they come home, when there is no light, you see them very, very angry.
Yes.
Because after spending a hectic and tedious day, you come home, you are looking forward to maybe your favorite program by 8 o'clock, by 9 o'clock. Unfortunately, there is no light. And unfortunately, there is no money to buy fuel and power your gen. So that lack of or that inability to allow you watch your favorite program will automatically take away your happiness, will automatically demoralize you. In fact, in some cases, will automatically sponsor or promote small quarrel between you and madam at home.
So, Ola, there was a time I had a sit down with a legend, you know, also in Kannywood, Nollywood, and one of the things that he made mention of is that no matter how much he has acquired, even though people see him and then fans rush to him and appreciate him, but then even in the community, when they're about to issue out big roles, when they mention, they'll be like, he's an actor. Have you ever, you know, faced that kind of situation, you know, in our country?
You know, unfortunately, what the society look at us is, let me give you an example of the politicians. When they are looking for people's votes, they rush to us, that they involve us in their campaign teams and trends because they know we have
the people.
Yes. We have the viewership, we have people, we have the press, we have the followership. But immediately after the election is won, sworn in and dusted, that is when they will remember you is just an ordinary actor. What do you know about boardroom politics? What do you know about governance? What do you know about leadership? Forgetting that if you don't have that background knowledge, you cannot dish out what you are dishing. So I can rightly say, just like lawyers call themselves learned, we actors supposed to be addressed as learned too. Because some films, you see them tilting towards law, health,
politics,
education, politics, culture, religion, so many things that affect the human life. If you don't have the knowledge, how can you give it out? Okay,
so now this brings me to my next questions to you, and I think I'm going to ask two questions in one.
Yes.
So how challenging has it been being a broadcast, should I say a journalist and a movie actor at the same time? And there are some roles that you've played, you know, that you've come out as a politician. I've seen you in Kwana Chester, not just Kwana Chester, Mukabala, and so on, you know. So how can you say, how challenging has it been managing to be an actor and at the same time being a journalist?
You know, there's what we call time management. And being an actor that is not just a beginner. You know, before they ask you to come and play a role, they must have given you a date and time. So that will give you ample opportunity to plan yourself. Even if it will maybe give you a chance to maybe take a casual leave, small leave that will give you that chance to go and do that. So it's all about time management.
So your roles that you've acted, how challenging has that been also, like I stated?
My role has been very, very challenging because of, most of the negative roles people see me act, in the society, people will think this is
especially the one in Kwana.
Yes, because if you look at it,
like that
I'm a businessman. I'm the leader of businessmen in Kwana. All I want is something that will bring money. Either it will affect the society. In fact, most of the things I do are things that negatively affect the society. So far, it will bring money for me. I'm fine. Then again, we expose another character. Most of our rich, if I can use that word, big men, you see them, they are not taking good care of the family at home. Their eyes are busy looking at something outside. So if I can use that word, busy forgetting diamonds at home, are looking for local stones outside. So you see me always abusing my wife, creating a conducive atmosphere for her to survive as my wife. But I'm outside chasing one small girl that is giving me tough time.
So would you say, okay, this particular character or role that you've played, people see you to be like, maybe you are like that in reality?
That is what I'm saying. So people thought maybe I'm like that. I'm very callous when it comes to my relationship with my wife at home. So I keep saying, no, that is just a role that I am asked to play.
Yes.
And I try my best to interpret it from story to reality.
So, but as an actor, do you get to screen some of the scripts that you would want to act when a story is being given to you? You go through it for real before you go to the set to go and act. So, are there some certain stories that you have, maybe rejected, and there are some that you picked because you didn't want a dent on your image?
There are so many stories that we turn down, and there are many stories that after it's given to us, we discuss with the director and the producer that this is not okay. This is how this thing is done. Most especially the Nollywood part of the story. They don't know so much about our culture. So you see them writing something that is not what is obtainable. In order not to put yourself in a stage of confusion, because the society will not, they will just think it's you that is.
Yes.
They wouldn't know, say, this one is just a movie. So you sit down with the producer and the director, Oga, here and here, this is not how it is done in the north. This is how it is done. This is how it's done. So in some cases, you find a situation where the director and the producer understand. So they give you go ahead to change it into the right way it should be done.
So in situations where some stories have caused some sort of scandals in the movie industry, how have you been able to manage that as a stakeholder in the Kannywood film industry?
So far, I have not been involved in any story that caused scandal because I try to avoid such stories. And like I told you, by reading at the story, if it has problem, because we consult. If it has to do with this, we consult people that are learned in that aspect. They tell you, hey, this is what should be done. This is what should be removed out. And as a good actor, you should be able to, at the point of delivery, add dialogue and remove dialogue. Yes, if you are that good.
So, I remember when there was the period of Cherokee and Ibrahim, may his soul rest in peace, where they were being, people tag them as actors that can work without script, or they can use the script but then play around with it, and Tigay as well. So there are stories like that. So let's talk about what we need to do to move the industry forward. Because we've seen that monetary-wise, there's been a lot of downfall. Yes, downfall for the Kannywood. It's been heated back to back. And Nollywood is already thriving due to the cinemas available, for at least they can make their money from there. But Kannywood are now diverting towards the YouTube. How sustainable do you think that can be?
Well, just like you said, it's not something that you can predict. It's something about technology. Just as it evolves, it did not consult you, it did not contact you. So for now, you cannot just sit down and say, after so time, it will not be there. But you, as a producer, you as a stakeholder, you should always be ahead of that game. by involving yourself in a long-range planning that after so years, how am I going to look like? What am I going to do? How is the industry going to look like? So you would not just sit down and say, for now, because if you look at some years back, there wasn't anything like YouTube. You just have to, whether you have the money to put your film on TV or not, you must put it on TV. If you don't have anybody that buy your film, you just open your drawer and put it. So now, continuously by engaging yourself in thinking ahead, that in so years to come, how is this, what if this thing stop? How are we going to survive? So you must involve marketing experts, because that is their field.
Okay, so another thing that I feel would have, also caused the financial downfall in the movie industry is the issue of copyright.
Yes.
How have, as a stakeholder, or should I say as the Arewa Filmmakers Association, how have you people been able to handle or avoid the issue of copyright when it comes to the movies that you put out there?
Now, thanks to the National Video and Censorship Board and all other censorship organizations and organs of the government, they are seriously helping us to curb away that issue of piracy. And again, because now people hardly produce film on that CD plate, where people easily used to, if you produce 1 million copies, they will go and produce 10 million copies. Now they put your money produce, now then they chop the money. So monkey they work, baboon they chop. So with this now, your film is strictly either on YouTube or is strictly on Netflix. Yes. So, and before you put it on, you agree on something, and you collect your money. So honestly, now there is serious improvement on that piracy, and that is why you see many of us smiling and many of us looking a bit better. So you said
so we agree that copyright has kind of been somehow been avoided, even though you could still see some shots of the movies. People actually posted them, posting
sometimes
them
from the cinemas.
Yes, from the cinemas as well, and also So at least we are good to know that the issue of piracy is being sorted out. So
all right, so let's talk about your role as the chairman, Arewa Filmmakers Association, FCT, and also Secretary General of Arewa Filmmakers of the North Central State. First of all, I didn't even know there was an association for the North Central. So what do you do, with those roles?
The roles are all about leadership, because when you have so many people doing something together, there is a need for you to form an umbrella body that will galvanize and present your issues, your concern, your cries, your love, and all sorts of things. So that was what prompted us to come together and form that umbrella. And when you hear North Central, it means states in the North Central states: Kwara, Niger, Abuja, Kogi, Nasarawa. That is it. And me being the chairman in Abuja FCT, I happen to be part of the North Central. So that is the local standee I use to contest and become the Secretary General.
Interesting.
Yes, thank you.
Okay, so the question that I would like to ask. So we've seen Alinu, the likes of Alinu, Adam Zongo, even though his children are not acting, they are singing. You see that all these celebrities have their children, following their footsteps. So would you want to see your own kids, or should we say, do you have children that are also in the movie industry, or would you want to see them go into acting just like you are?
As of now, I don't have any that is into acting, because many of them are busy with their schools. I have 3 that are already in the university. So after they finish their school, I'm sure say lie, know the born God.
So would you want to be an actor if you have the chance? Maybe let's say if you have another chance in another life, would you want to still be an actor again?
Gladly be an actor.
Okay, so I'm going to ask some tough questions. I know you've acted in certain series, like we rightly mentioned earlier, like the likes of Kwana Chesa'i, Mukabala, Garungabas, even the Sons of Caliphate also.
That's right.
Which one has, given you a tough run, and which one has actually brought you out to the limelight the more? I
would say Sons of the Caliphate. and Kwana Chasayen. That is, if I will be allowed to choose the two. Why I say Sons of the Caliphate, actually Sons of the Caliphate was the first one that brought me out that yes, this one has something to show. That's when producers from across the other end started to look for me. But Kwana Chasayen in this part of the divide has given me the viewership because of the consistent. Because in every week they show Kwana Chasayen 4 times. So that's, you know, our people love watching. So before you know it, they have converted ordinary into a superstar. So I would say both. Kwana Chasayen is what brought me into what I am.
Okay, so we know that, every time we go out to the field, we tend to meet people, we tend to keep up, by, building bonds and relationships with people. Would you say the movie industry, especially you, has, brought you close to certain people, even in the movie industry, that you are actually bonding with, that you can maybe tend to keep the relationship going?
Yes, it has. So glory be to God, it has. And it gives opportunity for serious networking because of like minds, people of the same, it does. And I believe that is why we are in the leadership position. Because if you don't have that numbers, if you don't have the networking, if you don't have the contact, you can't bring anything positive.
All right, I have this question that has been bugging me. This is personally from me. So when you see the Bollywood stars who are known worldwide, they like the media attention because they know how important it is. But when it comes to the Nollywood and the Kannywood, you people shy away a lot from the media house, forgetting that the media would actually help you, keep you on the show. So I want to, because you are someone who is in that
also in the media.
Yes, I want to know from the media side how you tend to see if you reach out to other people, to give them a platform. And also as an actor, why are you people shying away from the media?
It is a two-way traffic. One, you can never run away, shy away, dodge away from the media because it's like winking in the dark.
Yes.
Nobody notices you, nobody knows you. Just like now with this interview, only God knows how many people, maybe those that have not seen me in 30 years will be, so this guy is still this.
Indeed.
So media is very important. Coming back to why our people are shying away is, if you look at the level of our society, if somebody come into media and grant an interview, it depends on what the interviewer will ask. Some of these questions leads into controversies. And that is why many of the actors shy away from media. Because instead of asking professional questions, many of them go private, go personal.
Yeah, and then you can decide to actually drop the question. You can decide to say,
Indeed.
no, I wouldn't want to answer this question.
Indeed.
It's personal or something.
I think,
instead of not appearing.
I think there is what we call cognitive stage of development.
Yes.
That cognitive stage, if you are not grounded, you won't even know you have the right to reject to answer questions.
Okay.
So many of them thought once a question is asked, you must answer it. So that is why instead of doing the right thing, they end up entering into the trap. And it became issue of controversy.
Indeed.
I don't want to open it wide.
No, I think
we understand.
the people, the viewers already understand. I mean, there's been a lot of controversies around it.
And that is why many of them honestly shy away, run away, if I can use that word. That you see, it will take you a long time to catch and, hello, please, can you come for our interview? Honestly, I have a very busy schedule. Meanwhile, he doesn't have anything.
At the same time, just like when I called you, I told you what we are going to look at. So definitely you already have it in mind that, okay, this is what is going to be discussed. So I think that also pre-planning or, preparing the person ahead of time.
Just making sure, telling the person to feel safe, with you would be important. Okay, as final words, because due to time constraint, we have to go. But then final word, what should should the viewers expect more from you, Ibrahim Nassir Ringim?
Viewers should go and ensure if their subscription is is finished, they renew their subscription, because we are going to continuously and consistently going to dish out beautiful, important, entertaining, educating movies that they will never regret watching. Yes.
Well, thank you so much, Ibrahim Nassir Ringim, an actor both in Kannywood and Nollywood, a chairman, Arewa Filmmakers Association, FCT, also the Secretary General, Arewa Filmmakers North Central State. Thank you so much for joining us this morning.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, now with that, we of course wrap up this program, Daybreak Extra. We hope that you were really entertained, educated on the particulars, the discussions that we were able to have been, bring to you this morning. Let's not forget, he actually pinpoints on the main reason why they don't go cultural based on what people want. It's all about the business first. So yeah, we hope that you were able to enjoy it this morning.